Welcome to Chez Cherie. In today's video, I will be showing you how to make this large size book sleeve. This size is large enough to accommodate a hardcover book. However, you can adjust the measurements to any size that you want. So you can accommodate smaller books or a Kindle, or even a larger size to accommodate a laptop. Let's go over the materials. The materials you will need for this project are your main fabric, that is 11 by 13 inches, also your lining fabric, which is 11 by 13 inches, some fusible fleece, which is 10 by 12 inches, a smaller piece of your main fabric, 4 by 4 inches, some coordinating thread, also a coordinating zipper, pins and clips, either or. You also need a cutting tool, whether that be scissors or a rotary cutter, a seam ripper, and a pen or pencil, some type of marking tool. All right, let's get started. First, we're going to stabilize our main fabric by ironing on the fusible fleece. There's a rough side and a smooth side. Make sure you put the rough side facing the wrong side of the fabric and iron that down. You'll also notice that the measurements for the fusible fleece were 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. That was so you could center it on your main fabric and leave some room for a sewing allowance so it's not so bulky. While the iron is hot, we're going to go ahead and prep our zipper tab. Take your 4 by 4 piece of main fabric and iron it in half. Then you're going to take each edge and fold it into the center crease that you made and iron those down as well. Refold the fabric in half and give it one last press. And set that aside for later. On one piece of your main fabric at the top on the wrong side, measure 1/2 inch from each side. This is where your zipper will sit. Place the zipper on that piece of fabric right side down, and you're going to want to copy the lines so you know where to cut your zipper. But don't cut yet. First, we're going to put a stitch across the zipper inside of the lines that we just marked. When you're ready to stitch the side with the zipper pull, make sure you open the zipper past the mark that you made, and you'll have to hold the two sides of the zipper together to make your stitch. My zipper was flopping around a little bit too much, so I had to close it up a little bit and then stitch. Go ahead and trim your loose threads, and then we're going to cut the zipper on the lines that we made. Probably should have done this first, the whole measure twice, cut once thing, but go ahead and lay your zipper on top of your fabric, make sure it fits within the marks. Now it's time to grab the zipper tab that we prepped earlier. Place one end of your zipper inside of the zipper tab about 1/2 inch. I purposely made the zipper tab larger than I needed because I wanted some of it to go into the seam allowance. So you'll go ahead and put the other side in the zipper tab as well. Again, you only need about 1/2 inch of the zipper within the tab, and it's enough to cover up the stitch that we made. And then go ahead and sew that down. In case I forget to say it at every sewing step, make sure that you're back stitching and then forward stitching to secure the stitch. Cut your loose threads, and then you're going to trim your zipper tab to match up with the width of your zipper. And the zipper is now ready to attach to your main fabric. You're going to attach your zipper right side of the zipper facing the right side of your fabric. But if you remember, we made the marks on the wrong side. So you'll just have to see where it is that we cut the zipper and match it up with the marks that we made. Remember, match the end of the zipper, not the end of the zipper tab, because I purposely made the zipper tabs larger. You don't have to do that. You can make the zipper tabs flush with the marks that you made. Now we're going to attach the lining piece as well. Make sure all three pieces, your main fabric, your zipper, and your lining, have the edges matched up and pin in place. Also make sure your zipper tab is open a little bit. This will help because I'm using a regular pressing foot and not a zipper foot. But if you have a zipper foot, go ahead and use that. You'll notice I put a lot of pins because my fabric tends to shift, probably because I'm using a regular pressing foot. But it's cool, we're gonna make it work. So go ahead and stitch the straight line across all three pieces. When you get near the zipper pull, pause the machine with the needle still in your fabric and close the zipper until the zipper pull is past your presser foot, and then continue stitching. You know the drill. Go ahead and trim those loose threads. That's the last time I'll say it, but it won't be the last time you see it in this video. So we've got the zipper attached on one side, and we have to go ahead and attach it to our other main fabric and lining piece. And you'll repeat the process. Make sure your zipper is face down. Well, right side of the zipper matching the right side of the fabric, and go ahead and pin that in place along with a lining piece. And as you're pinning those together, make sure the edges of all of your fabrics are lining up along the sides as well. I almost forgot again, make sure your zipper pull is opened a little bit before you start sewing. Our zipper is fully attached, and now we can line up each side of the sleeve. So you'll put a main and a lining together and the other main and lining together. You can use your hands to finger press and flatten out the fabric, but I'm going to use an iron. And then we're going to top stitch a rectangle around the zipper. We're all done with the zipper, and it's time to sew the sleeve together. So now you're going to put both of your main pieces together, right sides facing, and also both of the lining pieces together. Before you pin and sew, make sure your zipper is at least halfway open. This is going to help us to actually open the sleeve and turn it in right side out after we're done sewing. So first match up the seams in the middle, and when you're doing that, hopefully you can see it, you want to push the zipper tab toward the lining pieces and match up the seams and pin that in place. Repeat that on the other side as well. Match up the middle seams by pushing the zipper tab toward the lining and pinning in place. Pin all around the rest of your sleeve. And when you get to the lining side, you're going to want to leave an opening at the bottom. You'll see me mark it with my hand in a second, but leave an opening so you can turn the sleeve right side out. This step is optional, but where I left the opening in the lining, I'm pressing open the seams with my fingers, and this is going to help when I turn it inside out to match it up for the closing stitch. Then, to help reduce some of the bulk when we do turn it inside out, we're going to cut the corners off of the lining and also of the main fabric pieces. Now for the exciting part, we get to turn it inside out and see how we did with our sewing. I usually stick my hand through the lining all the way to grab a corner of the main fabric and then go ahead and turn it inside out. I use my fingers to poke out the corners. You can use scissors or a seam ripper if you want to. Once you're good with your corners and you've got everything in place, you want to go ahead and close up the lining. So we'll match up the seams, pin it in place, and sew a straight line. And it's finished. Tuck your lining in, get rid of any stray threads, go ahead and test out your zipper, but your book sleeve is now complete. I appreciate you tuning in. Please like and share the video, leave a comment below if you have one, and also subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.